Hi! In order for you guys to understand what types of cyber attacks professionals in cybersecurity can face at work on a daily basis, let's see together the 5 most frequent types of cyber attacks in detail. The phishing. A phishing attack is a method where the hacker is trying to collect or steal personal data like a credential number, login information, and any personal data. The hacker's motivation could also be to install malware on your computer system. What is specific to phishing is that the hacker proceeds by sending deceptive email and website to their victims. These emails or websites are often related and designed to something the victims want or need, like a request from their bank account or a note from their associates. In fact, there are 3 types of phishing attack. Clone phishing is when a hacker uses previously legitimate email and clone it, installing their malicious version on the clone one. Then, spear phishing is when a hacker creates a specific researched and personalized email that seems trustable. And then, whaling is a type of spear phishing that targets high-profile people within a business. The best way to protect yourself against such attacks is to check the URL and the email, as there is probably a mistake in the name of the institute or persons, since it is a malicious version. Secondly, we have malware. Malware breaches a network through a vulnerability, typically when a user clicks a dangerous link or email attachment that then installs risky software. Some malware intends to steal personal information, while others are simply disruption-oriented. They are orchestrated attacks to initiate problems in a computer, rendering the system inoperable. In fact, malware is a term used to describe malicious software, including spyware, Trojan horse, viruses, worms, and ransomware. Of course, as its name says, spyware is a software that infiltrates your computing device, stealing your internet usage, data, and sensitive information. Then, a Trojan is a type of malicious code or software that looks legitimate but can take control of your computer. A Trojan is designed to damage, disrupt, steal, or in general inflict some other harmful action on your data or network. Then, a virus is a malware attached to another program, such as a document, which can replicate and spread after an initial execution on a target system. Many viruses are harmful and can destroy data and slow down system resources. Finally, a computer worm is similar to a computer virus, but unlike a virus, it does not need to attach itself to an existing program. Instead, it can spread copies of itself from one computer to another without being activated by users. One of the most harmful and costly malware, however, is ransomware. In fact, ransomware is a malware that blocks you from accessing your data, and if you want to have your data back, You have to pay a certain fee to the malicious hacker in exchange. The demand of a hacker can go from a few $100 to as much as thousands of dollars, depending on the quality and the privacy of the data stolen. The best ways to protect yourself against such attacks are to install an antivirus software that is the same for all your systems and devices, to keep your system updated to the latest version, and of course, to use your judgment. What I mean by that is when downloading new application, always check to see if the software or the application are trustable. Then we have the SQL injection. The SQL injection is a complex type of attack. It requires an injection attack that makes it possible to execute malicious SQL statements that control a database server behind a web application. They can go around authentication and authorization of a web page or web application and retrieve the content of the entire SQL database. Criminals may use it to gain unauthorized access to your sensitive data, customer information, personal data, trade secrets, intellectual property, and so much more. There also exist many types of SQL injection, but it is much more complex to describe. The best way to protect yourself against such an attack is to configure critical databases with a web application firewall on your system. Then is the man-in-the-middle attack. A man-in-the-middle, or MITM, attack is when an attacker intercepts communications between two parties, either to secretly spy or modify traffic traveling between the two. Hackers might use man-in-the-middle attacks to steal login credentials or personal information, spy on their victim, or sabotage communication or corrupt data. Most of the time, they are using unsecured Wi-Fi where it is easy to enter. So the best way to prevent and protect yourself against it is to install VPN on your router's network. Then is the distributed denial of service attacks, or DDoS. Distributed denial of service attacks target websites and online services. The aim is to overwhelm them with more traffic than their server or network can accommodate. The goal is to render the website or service inoperable. It is one of the most powerful attacks. The traffic can consist of incoming messages, requests for connection, or fake packets. Since it is quasi impossible to fight against such threats, as they are quasi untraceable, the best way is to protect yourself against it and prevent it using a network hardware. But this type of network hardware are really costly.